Banished with beavers is not a phrase I thought I would say on this YouTube channel, but banished with beavers is exactly how I would describe Timberborn, which is available on Steam Early Access. It is a work in progress that's going to be, I would assume, updated as time goes by. Something else that's going to be updated as time goes by is my voice. If you're watching this video when it goes out, or shortly around that time, you might be aware that a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago on the channel, I posted a video saying that some people in my family had taken sick with COVID-19 and the chances were very high that I was going to get it. Well, I'm proud to announce that I was right. Oh yes, proud. Never been happier to be right about something in my life. Basically what I'm saying is my voice is going to go in and out of being able to talk, or at least talk properly. Sometimes it's a little bit raspy, sometimes I can sort of bring it up to where it should be, and other times I sort of fall apart and I sound like this. I'm basically going to be one variety of Batman at a time, and I can't guarantee which one. But just thought I'd let you know, I'm okay. I felt awful for a couple of days. I spent 2 days straight in bed, but today's the first day that I'm feeling a little bit better. So I want to play some Timberborn. People have been telling me to play this in the YouTube comments, on Twitter, at ConflictNerd, by the way, on discord.gg/ConflictNerd, by the way, and on twitch.tv/ConflictNerd, by the way. Now that all of that's out of the way, now I've wasted 2 minutes of your time, let's get into it. And yeah, I said beavers. I did say beavers. Instead of people, it's beavers. And we have 2 factions available in Timberborn right now. At the moment, we can only select the Folktails, but you can get the Iron Teeth as well, if we reach an average well-being of 8 while playing as the Folktails, who are easygoing but hardworking. They are expert farmers. They respect nature and it rewards them well with plentiful bounties. And their motto is comfort, food, and sturdy wood, which, you know what? That's a phrase, that's a way to live life right there. Comfort, food, and sturdy wood. I wish those 3 things on everyone watching this video. I bless you all with comfort, food, and sturdy wood. Oh no. Anyway, moving swiftly on, we also have some maps to pick from, which there's a good little selection here, to be completely honest. I am going to go with Plains, since it's the recommended one, and I know a lot of people on YouTube playing this game right now are playing on the Plains map, but it's a good map for learning, and since this is the first series of Timberborn on the channel, and look, there's 2 factions in the game right now. The chances are there's going to be a second series with the other one at some point in the near future. I think it's fair to start with the recommended map, and I think it's fair to start on normal difficulty. Now, I said that this game is basically banished with beavers. It plays very similarly to Banished, but Banished itself plays very similarly to a lot of games in that sort of colony management survival genre, right? It's not a unique game. It just does a lot of things very, very well, and I think Banished is sort of a leader in its field, if it were. This game, Timberborn, is very similar in a lot of respects. It does a lot of things that Banished does, and it does some other things that Banished doesn't do, which is kind of why I've got the game paused right now, because it's a little bit time sensitive. This game doesn't so much have seasons in the way that Banished does, but it does have cyclical droughts, and that's why you'll notice that only some of the map has grass and the rest is all rocky. That's because this ground here isn't irrigated, and that's going to be kind of important because you need irrigated ground to grow stuff. So even these trees, right? If we go over here, we can see a bunch of blueberry bushes where we can, get some food shortly. We can see some pine trees, but you can also see that pine trees outside of the effects of the water are dead. So that's kind of a problem. So if this water goes away, not only do the plants not grow, but my beavers are going to get real thirsty. So we need to manage that. We need water on the regular. We need to get water for the beavers, but also water for things that we might grow. So to get things started, we're going to focus on 3 things. We're going to focus on resources, such as logs, and then processing those into other things. We're going to focus on food, so blueberries, and also we can do some farming. And we're going to focus on getting some water. So essentially, what I'm saying is we want to start by going in and designating a massive area for cutting trees, which I'm going to say is all of this space right here, though I want to unmark that bit. And is going to be all of this space and all of this space, and basically everywhere around that building, which we'll get to in just a second, because that building is also kind of important. So all of that space is marked for tree cutting, but I also want to mark this space as well, because we can get up there and we can cut those down as well, because there's a natural little slope right there that my beavers can use to go and chop down those trees. Now, this building is a district center. And a district center essentially establishes a district with its own population, resources, and an isolated path network. It also hires some builders, which we only have 2 of right now. I can go ahead and increase that if I want to, or decrease it. I'm going to keep it with 2 for right now. And it also has some starting goods. So in this case, it has 130 berries, which is good because we're going to need some food to get started. But again, we're going to need a bit more than that. Just looking around the screen to give you a quick overview of all that as well. On the top left, we have our well-being, which again, if we get it to 8, we get the iron teeth. And it's essentially hunger is fine, thirst is fine, sleep is fine. Nutrition, awe, and general happiness are all things that we're going to need to look into though. And we'll do that in good time. Next up is science. We spend science points to unlock things. We don't have any right now. We'll get some. We have materials. We don't have any. We have overall food with it broken down here. So we can see 130 total food with 130 of that being made up of berries. We can see logs, which we have none of. And we can see water, which we have none of. Beneath all of that, we have a breakdown of population with a total of 11 being made up of 4 children, 7 adults. We have no housing, meaning all 11 pups are homeless. And then we have a list of our employment status, essentially. So employed / adults. So we can see that in the district center, there are 2 people out of 4 employed with 5 people currently unemployed. Top right is just all your time information. This little thing here is the work hours during the day, so we can decrease that right down to none. And if we want to, we can take that all the way up to 24 hours. So you can just work around the clock. But for now, I'm going to keep it about 20, because that's roughly where I think it should be for getting started. Now, down the bottom of the screen, that's just all of the various tabs for building things. This thing in the bottom left is just going to be your information. So people aging up, people dying, and people being born and stuff like that. But let's actually start building some things. So we've marked out some space for chopping down trees. How do we chop the trees down? We're going to need to get ourselves some lumberjack flags. And this will employ a lumberjack that will then cut trees within this radius that you can see right there. So what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're gonna go ahead, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put a lumberjack right here, and I'm actually gonna get 2 of them. So that'll employ 2 lumberjacks to start chopping down all of these trees right here, but we're gonna need a path. So let's go ahead and get a little path that comes out something like this, and we'll go to about there. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's nice and even. We'll run it up to here, and we'll just run it around in a bit of a square like that for now. Now, these guys can store goods, but we are going to need some storage as well. So what I think we'll do right off the bat, because I don't think it costs anything, is we are going to get a log pile. And that can store up to 180 logs, which, again, is going to be kind of important because storage is kind of important. Speaking of storage, we can build warehouses. They can store up to 200 of anything, We can get large warehouses storing up to 1,000 of anything, but we need to research them with science points. And we can build large underground warehouses storing up to 4,000 of anything, but again, we need to research them. So we don't have any of those right now. We can, if we want to, build a normal warehouse, but I don't really want to right now, so we're just gonna leave it be. We're getting a little bit carried away there. Because like I said, there's 3 things we're focusing on. We're focusing on getting some logs, we're focusing on getting some food, and we're focusing on getting some water. So, in terms of food, here's what I'm thinking. I think we do a nice big path that goes straight down here, and I think what we do is go into plant crops. I think we say we get some carrots, and I think we go ahead and build a nice big area for carrots. Something like, I want to say something a bit like that is going to do the job. But we're going to need people to work those fields. So we're going to need to go in, we're going to need to go to food, and we're going to need some farmhouses. Now farmhouses, well, they take 25 logs each to build. I would like 2 of them, but I think for this point, we're just going to go, I do want 2 of them. I do really want 2 of them. But I think we're going to have to go with 1. I think we'll have to do 1, and that's going to have to do us for now. Now, we also have this space over here, and you'll notice this bit of, this barrier, this bit of debris or whatever it is blocking some water right there. I want to mark that for demolition, because that will open up and that will let some water into this space. And the reason I want to do that is because I can build a water pump, and that's how we're going to get our water. So, you know, it's basically going to live somewhere like this or somewhere like this. But what I'm really thinking I want to do with it is I want to build it. I'm thinking right about there is a pretty good spot for it. So right about there, and we can build a couple of these guys if we really want to. And it's tempting to build a couple of them. But I think for now, we're going to build 1, and we're just going to connect it up to the path as we do with everything. And we're also, just in case I do build another one, going to bring some path down here. We're going to go for some path right here. And we're going to need somewhere to store the water as well. Because like I said, right, drought comes by, it gets rid of all the water. What are we going to drink? Well, we're still going to drink water. We just need to store it. So we'll get ourselves some water tanks. And that's where these guys come in. So we'll leave that space there for a second pump, should we ever need it. But we're going to build a bunch of water tanks, because that's going to be good for letting us drink during droughts. And it also means we can store up some water in case we need it for anything else. And again, like everything else, we can get large water tanks if we research them, irrigation towers to irrigate ground around the tower. We can get depth markers. We can get a lot of things. We just need to research them. And just like that, we've got a lot of things ready to go. But there's one last little thing that I do want to build. And that's going to be right in here. We have a gatherer flag. And if I build it right there, well, if I build it this way, actually, it's going to be a lot better for us. If I build it right here, you'll notice it has a pretty good radius on it. Although if I build it there, it's honestly not going to do too bad either. So we are going to build it, you know what, we'll put it right about there. And I think right about there will be fine. In fact, maybe 2 of them. No, we'll go for 1. If I build that, that guy is going to go and start gathering some berries, which, again, are considered food. So, kind of important to get that going while the farms are being set up. Now, there's one last thing. I know that's a lot of information to take in, but there's one last thing I want to do before I start running the game. And that's this button right here, so that we can assign some priorities. Because there's certain things that need built before other things. Or certain things, in this case, need demolished before other things. So I want that done first. That's kind of top priority. So very high. High priority is going to be this guy. And it's going to be, let's say, 1 water tank. And then I think very high priority is going to be these woodcutters and wood storage. I think that's going to be a very big deal. Let's see. Normal priority is already set. I think very high should also be the gatherer as well. So those things are very high priority. Those are also all free to build as well. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. This guy is then going to be a high priority as well. And I think that's about everything that we're going to need. Now, housing is something that we can build, but for now, I think the beavers are going to have to be homeless. So we'll go ahead and let the game run, and we'll see these guys get built pretty much immediately. We have Dorkuras, and we have Demari working as lumberjacks. We should have this getting built. We absolutely do. And then we should... Oh, this got cleared out already as well. Fantastic. There we go. So we have Venjo down here working as a gatherer. So that's good. That's going to keep us fed for a little bit. This is going to keep us going with some logs. And we should, in time, start to see some logs get used for construction. So down here, we get logs being fed into the farmhouse. We don't have any going into the water pump right now, but that's kind of okay. I think we'll manage. And I think we'll be all right. I don't think it's going to be... It's not going to be the end of the world if we don't get the water pump built immediately. I think we'll be okay. But one thing to keep in mind, and one thing that's kind of important, is we actually only have 2 unemployed beavers right now. So getting this farmhouse going is going to take one of those, and getting this water pump going is going to take the other. So we actually are 100% gonna need to get our hands on some housing, because that's the only way the beavers are going to breed, is in housing. So where would I put that? I mean, I kind of like this space up here, but it seems a little far away from everything. Oh, the farmhouse is done. Oh, we have 2. Ooh, we have 2 of them working in there. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize we had 2 of them. But then again, I guess we do have some kids. We have 3 children, and one of them did just grow up. So actually, I think we're going to be okay. Although we still absolutely want housing. That's still kind of something that's a bit of a big deal. But I think we'll manage it. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. So this thing is now working. It's relatively productive. It's able to store some water itself, and good timing as well, because people were just starting to get thirsty. So that's good. That's fantastic timing. Now, looking at priorities, this thing should be getting built next, which it absolutely is, and that's where we're going to start storing some water. But I'll tell you what we should probably do. Oh, look at this. The carrots are coming along really nicely. That's fantastic. I'll tell you what we should probably do. There's 2 things, right? Like I said, there's 3 things to cover at the start of the game, but now there's 2 things that we need to deal with, because again, there's droughts. This water is not permanent. It will go away, and it will stay away for a few days on end. So there's a couple of ways we can deal with that. We can stockpile a bunch of water, or we can make like beavers, right? And what are beavers good at? Well, they're good at building dams. And I'm thinking I'm going to build a dam right about here. Now, that's going to take a good amount of logs, but I'm pretty confident we can get those. So I think a dam right about there, or right about here, might not be a bad idea. And I'm also pretty sure that water cannot go through sort of corner spaces, so we could cheat a little bit and save a little bit of material by doing this. So that's what, 6? So that's 120 logs to build that dam. And now water can get through that, and water will still dry up, but at the very least, that'll be a way to sort of manage things a little bit. But I do think we're going to have to bring a path down there to get the beavers down that way. So let's go ahead and mark some resources for demolition, which is going to be 2 about there, 2 about there. And I also want to make that a high priority task to get those out of there, because this is also going to be a high priority. We do need the dam. We need to make sure that there's water at all times, and we need to be able to make sure that everyone can, number 1, eat, and number 2, drink. So that's what the dam is going to let us do. It's going to let us do both of those things, because the water is essential for growing crops. I don't think carrots will die immediately if they lose water, I think it takes them a little while to kind of wither and die. But things like wheat, which we can grow to turn into flour, turn into bread, wheat dies super quickly later on. So that's something to be aware of as well. Now, we'll let them clear all this out. Although looking at it, they might not go that far to do it because there's no path. That's kind of something you can see here. You can see sort of the green line kind of changing color a little bit. It gets a little bit more yellow here. It gradually moves towards red as you move out. And I think that's basically just sort of the distance at which beavers will kind of turn around and go, man, I'm not going out there. You know, that's kind of what the distance thing is. I like to imagine the beavers just kind of like, nah, I am not going out there. You can think again, Buster. But it's probably fine. Now, they are actually building these, which is fantastic. So that's exactly what we want to be seeing. So this should get built in pretty good time. And also looking at it, we had someone wanting some food there. Hopefully they're doing all right. We actually have a good number of berries in the gatherer's flag as well. And this is full, which is actually great news. It means we have a good amount of water just kind of sitting around. But I'll tell you what I think we should do. I think we should go ahead and I think we should look at two things. Because we're dealing with the water situation. Let's look at the housing situation. Because we actually have we have some pretty good space here to play with housing. So let's do this, and let's do this, and then let's sort of flip it around, and sort of flip it around. Now each of these can hold 3 beavers, and we can stack these, by the way. Eventually we can do raised paths and power lines and stuff like that, but not right now. But this is fine. So each of these holds 3. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's 24 beavers can be housed in these houses, I think. Am I right on that? 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, 24. Okay, that's actually fine by me. And I'll tell you what I also want to do. I want to delete this building because I've realized I can do a little something here that I think is going to be really good for us, which is delete that path and go ahead and build a small warehouse right here and just bring the path sort of out in front of it. And I think that looks kind of cool around the main building there. I think it's kind of interesting looking. And then the log pile can just go back here. It's not really a huge deal that the log pile's a little off. And the log pile could even go sort of in the forest or something like there if we wanted it to. It doesn't really matter where the log pile goes. We'll just go for right there. And what I want to do is go back into priorities. And I want to say that the log pile is a very high priority. And then the warehouse is our next priority because that's where we can start putting a lot of food out of the gatherer's hut. And then the houses are just going to be normal priority, I think. So that'll kind of work out. I think we'll be all right and able to get all that done. And also, hopefully, we can just tear down all these trees. Although I don't think I get the materials for manually getting rid of these trees, which is... that's a little bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. It'd be nice if we did. It'd be really, really nice if we got the materials for tearing down those trees, but I don't think we're going to. But that's okay. We'll just, we'll deal with it. It's not really a huge deal as long as we get this dam done in time. Why are some of you guys complaining about being hungry? There you go. Go and grab some berries. Quit your complaining. That's always, that happens in Banished as well. Like you see people out working and they end up getting hungry and you're like, man, just go. We have food. Just go and get it. Quit your complaining. You're fine. It is always a worry. I always worry that I've done something wrong. I've played a bunch of different like these guys getting thirsty. Go get some water. I wonder if I'm working them too hard. It's a definite possibility. It is definitely possible. I'll tell you what I will do. I want to go like this. And I want to bring some paths just sort of up like this. Just to sort of connect everything around a little bit. So that, you know, if they need to go down here from there, they can follow this path instead of going sort of down the middle. I don't know if that's going to be any faster, but I would imagine it maybe is. I've got no idea. Doesn't really matter. The good news is, dam's coming along. We've got, what, 1 log in there and 1 log in there. Actually, looking at this, how many logs have we got sitting around? So we have, what, 2 logs per tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I'm about to count the trees. 3, I don't know, we have a good number of logs there, I guess. We have some down here as well. But I almost wonder if it wouldn't be a bad idea to build a lumberjack flag like here. Somewhere like right there, so they have access to all of these trees up here. Might not be a bad idea. It really might not be a bad idea. But I don't know that there's, wait, hold on a minute. Why has this been built? What priority is that? Was that, oh, I hope that was a high priority. I hope they didn't decide to do those instead of the dams. Oh, speaking of the dams, they probably are going to do other things because there's no path going down there, is there? So get that path connected, and there they go, back down towards the dams. Okay. Gotta remember to do the paths every single time, and also get that resource out of there, and also get it to be nice and high priority, please, to get that little tree out of there. If someone wouldn't mind, because I'd like my path to be, you know, nice and consistent. There we go. Are you tearing it down? Are you the beaver that's tearing down the tree? No? Okay, well, I mean, you did, but not the tree I was looking for. That's fair enough. Resources are resources. I guess I can't really be mad at it. Oh, man. You know, what was this? I can't name them. I'm not going to be able to pronounce most of these. I might, oh man, do I want to, do I want to open the floor for name suggestions in the comments? That seems dangerous. That actually, you know what? I'll tell you the simple reason I'm not going to do that. You can suggest names all you want. I'm going to elect to ignore them if I feel like it. And I'll tell you why. Because the chances are that by the time this first episode of this series goes out, I will have already recorded like 3 or 4 more episodes that are going to go up in the following days. So people are going to comment on this video and be like, man, I want you to name a beaver after my great-great-grandmother's uncle's cousin who had a beaver that fought in the war. His name was Frank. And then it's going to be like 3 episodes in, and it's going to be like, man, I can't believe you're disrespecting Frankie Beaverkins, right? I cannot, he was a war hero, all right? Sergeant Beaverkins was a damn hero, and you not naming a beaver after him in Timberborn is nothing short of disrespectful to his memory, nay, the soldiers he fought with. And you'd be right. Quite frankly, you would be right. So that's why we're just going to avoid any such offense to Sergeant Frankie Beaverkins. Oh, I'm too sick for, I can't make myself laugh. I'm legitimately sick. Like, oh God. Oh, I need to be very careful that my stupid humor doesn't kill me. Of all the games I could die for on this channel, we were all expecting it to be City Skylines. It might very well be Timberborn. And you know what? If it's for Sergeant Frankie Beaverkins, God rest his soul, it might be worth it.